Welcome you asked, and we listened. Today we're plunging into Frank Tembo's Know Yourself and Become Wealthy using the sources you so helpfully provided.
That's right.
Our mission. Well, it's to dig out the core truths about understanding yourself as the absolute foundation for not just building wealth, but, for crafting a truly rich and meaningful life.
And it's quite a unique book, isn't it? The
Uh,
style itself.
Oh, definitely. This isn't a book you just skim. Katemba suggests that every sentence is packed, like loaded with multiple layers of understanding, all pointing to the same central truth.
Uh-huh. He even talks about the book having its own vibration frequency.
Yeah, almost like it's alive. He says when you connect with it, you'll actually feel it resonating within you, transforming the words into something more, you know, more than just text.
It's meant to be felt as much as read, it seems.
Exactly. And it starts with a pretty direct punch. Why are you not wealthy?
Right to the point.
Yeah. The book hints that the answer isn't out there somewhere, but in here, waiting to be unlocked by a secret and the right knowledge. Okay, let's dive in.
Yeah, what's immediately striking is this inward focus, isn't it? It's not offering external tricks or strategies right off the bat.
No, it really demands a deep look within first.
And this idea of vibration frequency, well, it's compelling. It suggests that engaging with this information isn't just an intellectual exercise.
Right, it's about finding a deeper resonance, maybe tapping into something intuitive.
And that question, why are you not wealthy? Wow, that's a powerful way to cut through any complacency, Invites serious self-examination.
Absolutely. And the first key insight he lays down is all about the primacy of self-knowledge.
The foundation.
The core argument is basically this. Until you truly understand who you are, your motivations, your limitations, you can't really grasp how the world around you actually operates.
Makes sense. If you don't know the tool, how can you use it effectively?
Exactly. Just having facts and figures isn't power in itself. You need to act on what you know. As one of the excerpts says, you need to be ye a doer of the word and not just a mere hearer.
Action is key, not just passive listening.
And he uses this really powerful analogy. Solomon, immense wealth and wisdom, being told to live like Moses, leading people through the desert.
Right, I remember that. It's a recipe for disaster.
Guaranteed disaster, because you're trying to live out a script that isn't authentically yours. And he connects this to what he sees as a broader identity crisis for humanity.
Especially, he notes, for Africans, linking it back to the origin of humanity.
Yeah, and then there's this very direct quote from the Gospel of Thomas. But if you will not know yourself, you dwell in poverty, and it is you who are that poverty.
Wow. That really lands heavily.
Pretty strong stuff, right?
It really highlights how our inner world shapes our outer reality. If we lack self-awareness, we're essentially navigating blind.
Totally. How can we make choices that lead to abundance, however we define that, if we don't understand our own desires, fears, patterns?
Exactly. And that Solomon analogy is so effective in illustrating the dangers of inauthenticity, just trying to be someone else.
Yeah.
And that Gospel of Thomas quote, it's not just about material lack, is it? It suggests a much deeper poverty, like a poverty of being, that stems from not knowing ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. It goes way beyond just money. And it's not just about accumulating random bits of information either. The book presents this clear hierarchy.
Of it.
First, you have information, just raw data. Then comes knowledge, acquiring useful, accurate information.
Right.
Building on that is understanding, seeing the connections, the implications of that knowledge.
Connecting the dots.
And at the very top is wisdom. Now, what's wisdom? It's defined as the art of right action, decision, and application of knowledge and understanding.
So it's about using it effectively.
Using it effectively in your life and, importantly, for the benefit of others, too. And here's a crucial point he makes. True knowledge lies in experience.
So it's not just intellectual.
Not at all. It's something you have to live and feel. So the key insight here is that simply consuming information won't change your life. It's the active application of understood knowledge wisdom that creates real impact.
Like having all the ingredients for a cake versus actually baking it and, eating it.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
That hierarchy is so important, especially now in the information age. We're constantly bombarded with data, but that doesn't automatically translate into wisdom.
Not even close.
It requires that process, internalizing, connecting, and then actively applying what we learn. And you're right, that emphasis on experiential learning is key.
Yeah.
It's not enough to just read about something. We need to engage with it, test it, see how it plays out in our own lives to truly understand it.
Okay, let's move on then. The second key insight. This idea of our divine nature and our inherent creative potential.
This is where it gets really profound, I think.
Yeah, Tembo argues that when you truly know yourself, you discover you're not just the passive creation, but an active creator yourself. Carrying within you the very divine essence of the Father, the ultimate creator. He even references that powerful question, I and my Father are one.
hmm This idea that we have this inherent power to create our own reality seems absolutely central.
It really does.
This is where the book starts connecting our individual identity to something much larger, right? The kind of cosmic framework.
Oh, wait.
The idea that we're made in the image of the Creator and therefore possess creative abilities ourselves is incredibly empowering. It shifts our perspective
From being mere recipients of fate?
to active participants in shaping our lives. And that question, I and my Father are one,
Mm-hmm.
well, it certainly points to a deep, fundamental connection, a shared essence with the divine source.
And he touches on how science and spirituality are maybe increasingly converging in their attempts to understand identity, consciousness.
Yeah, he notes that.
But he argues that neither religion nor science alone can give us the full picture. They're incomplete.
Offers a partial view.
Interestingly, the book offers a critique of certain spiritual teachings. It suggests they often promote manifestation without emphasizing the crucial element of taking inspired action.
The just believe trap.
Exactly. Reducing it to an incomplete formula for true transformation, as he puts it.
That's a really important nuance. It highlights a potential danger in some popular interpretations of manifestation, where the emphasis might be solely on positive thinking without acknowledging the need for, practical steps and effort in the physical world.
Right, you still have to do something.
Belief without action is often just wishful thinking, isn't it?
Pretty much. And it gets a bit critical of organized religion, too.
Yeah.
Suggests that over time, they can morph into these transformed business empires.
Ooh, strong words.
Yeah, and that they can actually hinder genuine spiritual enlightenment and personal growth, potentially trapping people, leaders, and followers alike in cycles of control and dependency.
Right.
He draws this contrast between the true God, the creator of all, who loves us unconditionally, purely, freely, versus the image of a controlling, judgmental God often presented by religious institutions. And here's a really significant idea. The true God, that creative force, is also within you.
That resonates with a lot of mystical traditions, doesn't it? The immanence of the divine.
Definitely.
The idea that the sacred is not just out there, but also within each of us. By shifting the focus from an external authority to an internal connection, the book encourages a more direct, personal relationship.
Yeah, cuts out the middleman, maybe.
And the critique of organized religion as potentially creating barriers, well, it's certainly a perspective that prompts deeper thought about the structures shaping our beliefs.
He describes our inner being as a radiant light or a sacred flame.
Nice imagery.
Our authentic self, right, that can't be extinguished by falsehood or external pressures. Embracing this truth, he says, naturally leads to aligning with our core values, our passions, our purpose.
And that attracts things.
Yeah, attracts kindred spirits and opportunities into our lives. It suggests authenticity has this, magnetic quality.
That imagery of an inner light is so evocative. It speaks to an inherent vital essence within us that remains constant, despite life's ups and downs.
Yeah.
And the idea that aligning with this authentic core attracts positive connections and possibilities, well, that makes intuitive sense. When we are truly ourselves, we naturally resonate with others who are also living authentically.
And we're drawn to situations that support our growth. Makes sense.
Right.
So, to truly grasp who we are, the book emphasizes understanding our origin, being birthed as a seed from the essence of the Father.
Not just created, but birthed, like a part of the source.
Exactly. We're not just distant creations, but we bear the very likeness of the Creator. We are an embodiment of the creative force itself, intricately connected and tangled in the quantum essence of divine creation.
Wow, that's pretty profound language. It really doubles down on that earlier point about our inherent creative potential, linking it directly to our divine source. The language used there, especially referencing quantum entanglement, is interesting. It tries to bridge those timeless spiritual concepts with maybe contemporary scientific understanding. Suggests a deeper interconnectedness.
Than we usually perceive, yeah. And then comes this really thought-provoking idea that God created absolutely everything from himself.
From his own substance.
Yeah, and that's why we observe the cyclical nature of the universe everything comes from and returns to the source. Then he poses this question.
Okay.
Are you, my friend, the dust and clay that he fashioned? Or are you him that descended? Or are you both? Or are you none of these or yet something else?
Whoa. That really forces you to question your fundamental identity, doesn't it? Your relationship to the divine.
Totally.
That question is designed to shatter our preconceived notions about creation and our place within it.
Yeah.
It moves beyond a simple creator-creation dynamic.
Hints at something more intimate, more connected.
Exactly. It challenges us to consider the possibility that our own divine spark isn't just like the creator, but an integral part of that very essence.
He talks about this unending urge to expand and escape, the perceived limitations of, mass, volume, space, even time, suggesting that these things we think are so solid and real are ultimately empty or even an illusion. What do you make of that?
Well, it speaks to a potential disconnect between our everyday physical experience and maybe a deeper, more fundamental spiritual reality.
Right.
The idea that these seemingly immutable aspects of our existence might be illusory aligns with certain philosophical and spiritual traditions, doesn't it? Ones that prioritize consciousness as primary.
Yeah, like this physical world isn't the whole story.
It suggests our perception might be limited and there are deeper levels of being beyond our immediate senses.
Then he introduces this myth of the elephant.
Yes, the elephant.
It's a metaphor, right? For how humans contain such a vast, diverse range of attributes and potentials. Just as you'd need careful discernment with a massive elephant, we need that same discernment navigating life.
Makes sense. We're complex beings.
And then he makes this striking statement, you are the infinity mirror. What's the key takeaway there, do you think?
The elephant metaphor is incredibly rich, isn't it? Really captures our multifaceted nature. We're not simple, one-dimensional.
Yeah.
And the infinity mirror image, well, it builds on this beautifully, highlighting the boundless potential and the constant reflections within each individual. It emphasizes that ongoing process of self-discovery.
And the importance of discerning which aspects to focus on, to cultivate.
Exactly.
He goes on to explain that challenges, difficulties in life, they aren't just random bad luck.
Yeah.
No, they're actually for exploratory and experiential gain. He says the contrast between darkness and light, between what we perceive as hell and paradise, is absolutely necessary.
Necessary for what?
For us to truly experience and appreciate both. He uses that great saying, no mud, no lotus.
Ah, classic.
Yeah. We had no choice but to eat the forbidden fruit of knowledge so you can know and enjoy paradise. It completely reframes struggle.
It offers a really transformative perspective on suffering, doesn't it? Instead of seeing hardships as purely negative obstacles.
They're catalysts.
Exactly. Essential catalysts for growth, learning, and ultimately for a deeper appreciation of the good stuff. That no mud, no lotus proverb is so powerful.
So simple, yet so deep.
And that reinterpretation of the forbidden fruit narrative is fascinating. It suggests gaining knowledge, even of the negative, is a necessary step for a fuller, more meaningful existence.
According to the book, when you truly embrace your authentic self, it leads to this ever-expanding sense of joy that has no limits.
Wow. No limits.
And get this, failure itself is merely a reflection of your past dwelling, your old home.
Meaning?
Meaning it's just where you used to be, not who you are now. He says true failure is actually elusive because we are all inherently bound for success.
Inherently bound for success. That's optimistic.
Very. And we always have the capacity to reclaim it.
It's an incredibly empowering message, isn't it? It reframes failure not as permanent, not defining, but as a temporary detour from our natural path.
Yeah. But the emphasis on our boundless potential for joy and that inherent drive towards positive outcomes can be a powerful motivator.
For pushing through challenges, yeah.
Yeah.
And finally, in this section, he discusses paradise and hell, not as external locations, but as feeling state conditions that are actually intertwined and necessary for us to have a complete, nuanced experience of life.
So internal states. That internalizes these powerful concepts, shifting them away from external rewards and punishments to our own subjective inner experience.
Right.
It suggests our internal state, our thoughts, emotions. That's what creates our personal paradise or hell. And both ends of that spectrum are valuable parts of the human experience.
Contributing to our understanding and growth.
Okay.
Let's move into the third key insight.
Okay.
The path to wealth and abundance and how it's intrinsically linked to self-awareness and our ability to create.
bringing it back to the practical application.
Exactly. He states that knowledge and consciousness are deeply interconnected, like the intertwining branches of the mystical tree.
Nice image again. And understanding this relationship is absolutely fundamental to creating both wealth and overall abundance in our lives.
This really reinforces that initial premise, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Self-knowledge isn't just some abstract philosophical thing.
No, it has tangible consequences.
In our ability to shape our external reality, including financial well-being, the intertwining branches metaphor beautifully illustrates that dynamic, inseparable connection.
Between what we know and how consciously we operate. Yeah. He goes on to say that the tree of knowledge isn't about original sin.
Not punishment.
No, but it symbolizes our growth beyond a state of simple paradise bliss through actively embracing the knowledge of what is not paradise.
Learning through contrast again.
Exactly. And then he introduces this idea of two forbidden trees, the tree of knowledge and the tree of life.
Okay, I remember this part.
Now, the tree of life, often thought of as granting eternal life, isn't just some external alchemical thing. He says it's something you can easily manifest using the generative law of creation.
Easily manifest eternal life. That's a pretty radical idea.
It is, isn't it? A fascinating twist on the traditional narrative.
Yeah, the tree of life is demystified, presented not as some mythic object, but as an inherent capability within us.
Linked directly to the principles of creation the book explores.
This empowers the individual to take a far more active role in their own, well, longevity, vitality, even spiritual evolution.
He then talks about two upgrades in human development. First is acquiring what he calls godlike knowledge and capabilities, basically unlocking our full potential.
Right. Mastery in the world.
And the second, a deeper transformation leading to eternal life or eternal spiritual existence. Sounds like different levels of human evolution.
Exactly. These upgrades seem to represent stages in our journey of self-realization. The first is about achieving mastery in the material world,
Through knowledge and skill.
while the second transcends that, pointing towards a profound spiritual awakening, a liberation from the limits of physical form.
There's an interesting comparison made, too, between someone born into wealth and someone who's overcome significant poverty to succeed.
What's the point there?
The book suggests the struggle itself actually lends profound depth and meaning to that success. The one born wealthy might actually miss out on that deeper sense of accomplishment.
It's almost like the journey is as important, or maybe more important, than the destination itself.
Feels like it.
That really speaks to the transformative power of challenges. When we have to overcome obstacles, we develop resilience, resourcefulness.
And a deeper appreciation.
Exactly. Someone who hasn't faced those struggles might indeed lack that same level of profound satisfaction and understanding.
He then states that giving without any expectation of receiving anything back reflects a higher state of consciousness
Selfless giving.
and a deep understanding of the universal law of reciprocity. And he broadens the definition of wealth, as we touched on, to include things like compassion and empathy.
Suggesting true abundance isn't just material possessions.
Right.
This expands our understanding of wealth beyond purely financial terms. Giving with pure intention aligns us with a fundamental principle of balance and exchange.
Recognizing our interconnectedness.
Exactly. The value of human connection.
He further elaborates on our creative potential, saying it's not random, but meant to align with the creator's intentions.
So our creativity has a purpose.
Yeah, like this divine gift we possess has a specific purpose in the grand cosmic puzzle. He even talks about the role of a prime creator in the universe.
A prime creator. What's that?
Someone who weaves inspiration and wisdom into the human experience, essentially becoming an instrument of evolution.
Wow. That elevates our individual acts of creation to something much more significant, doesn't it?
It really does.
Suggests that when we tap into our creative potential, we're not just pursuing personal gain, but actually contributing to the larger unfolding of the universe.
The evolution of consciousness. We become active participants.
Right.
He then introduces the concept of living in a state of flow.
Flow state.
He says when we're truly aligned with our higher purpose and the creator's intentions, we naturally enter this state where actions feel effortless and extraordinary things become almost inevitable.
Like being in the zone, but cosmically.
Exactly.
The concept of flow is well recognized in psychology, isn't it? That state of deep engagement, effortless action, time disappears.
Yeah.
The book connects this to a spiritual alignment, suggesting that when we operate in accordance with our true selves and the universe's creative energies, we naturally experience this ease, things fall into place.
He offers an interpretation of be fruitful and multiply, not just literal.
Okay, how so?
Be fruitful is about tapping into our inherent creative potential, and multiply is about understanding the immense power of abundance and the ripple effect of our creations.
Expanding our influence and impact. That provides a really practical and empowering interpretation of those well-known commands.
Links them directly to our innate creative abilities.
And the expansive nature of our impact, recognizing the potential for our creations to have a far-reaching positive influence.
He reiterates this powerful idea. We are both a vessel receiving divine love and a source of that love ourselves, a co-creator and prime creator.
Vessel and source, both.
And then he quotes that potent verse from the Gospel of Thomas again. If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring it forth, what you do not bring out will kill you.
Wow. That quote is incredibly powerful, isn't it? Really underscores the vital importance of expressing our inner potential, our unique gifts.
Yeah. What's the core message there?
It suggests suppressing our true selves, our creative urges, can lead to stagnation, even a kind of inner demise. Conversely, bringing forth what's within us is not just fulfilling, but essential for our well-being, our salvation, maybe.
The legendary fall in Eden, he suggests, wasn't divine punishment,
No. What then?
but a necessary step in the evolution of consciousness, a way for humanity to experience and differentiate good and evil, ultimately enriching the universe's experience. He calls the dilemma a crucial catalyst for growth.
That's a very different take on Adam and Eve, a significant reinterpretation.
Very
Instead of a tragic mistake condemning humanity, it's presented as a necessary stage in our development, a crucial step towards gaining knowledge and conscious choice.
framing it not as punishment, but as essential.
Right.
He also touches on the divinely prescribed diet, emphasizing every seed-bearing herb and every tree that has fruit with seed in it.
Foods that support new life.
Yeah, connecting us more deeply to the natural world. Interestingly, he highlights milk and eggs as preferable to meat in this context.
Interesting. A specific dietary recommendation linked to nurturing life and aligning with natural principles.
And he explains that soul nourishment goes beyond just physical food.
What does it include?
Having a clearly defined purpose and passion, nurturing meaningful connections and relationships, and engaging in acts of service.
Feeding our spirit as well as our body. A holistic view of well-being, recognizing the interconnectedness of our physical, emotional, spiritual needs.
Purpose, connection, service. Those seem key.
They're consistently linked to greater happiness and fulfillment, aren't they?
Now, this is interesting. He says, our user manual, our book of the law of life, isn't just some external text. It's intrinsic to our being.
It's inside us.
Yeah. But he also says it's present in physical books like the Bible.
Yeah.
However,
There's a catch.
these texts contain hidden treasures, veiled beneath obvious meanings, and what he calls seeming junk requires discernment to uncover.
Layers of meaning.
Exactly. He uses the example, honor thy father and thy mother. Literal meaning, sure, but also a deeper meaning.
Which is?
Related to the law of polarity, the balance between our conscious mind, the father, and our subconscious mind, the mother.
Wow. So these ancient texts have layers we often miss. It introduces this idea of sacred texts having multiple levels of understanding, requires a more insightful, maybe less literal approach.
To unlock their true wisdom.
That example really illustrates how seemingly straightforward commandments can hold profound psychological and spiritual insights when viewed through a different lens.
He even references Jesus's quote about the Pharisees hiding the keys of knowledge, and then throws in the advice. Be as sly as snakes and as simple as doves, advocating for a wisdom that's both discerning and innocent, maybe.
That's a fascinating juxtaposition, isn't it? Suggests navigating the world and pursuing truth requires both sharp awareness, like the serpent, and pure intention, like the dove.
Wisdom isn't just intellect, but integrity, a genuine heart.
Right.
Then he introduces this rather out there idea, galactic beings having tampered with our own existence.
Tampered.
Suggesting they've enclosed humanity in a kind of matrix that veils our true connection to the Father, our divine source. That's getting into some pretty esoteric territory.
It certainly is. Introduces the possibility of external influences, maybe beyond our immediate comprehension, affecting human consciousness, limiting our perception, resonates with certain alternative theories.
But he doesn't leave it there, thankfully. He says despite all this, we are fundamentally beings of light,
Okay.
and that these dark forces will ultimately melt away as we awaken and advance spiritually. But
There's always a but.
We have to actively keep our inner flame burning. He advises us to question everything, doubt established narratives, forge our own unique path to truth.
That's a message of empowerment amidst what could seem disempowering. Emphasizes our inherent strength and potential to overcome negative influences through self-awareness, critical thinking.
And commitment to our inner light.
Yeah,
He goes even further, stating that these dark forces, even religions as we know them, are all ultimately energy from the Father.
all from the same source, even the dark stuff.
Yeah, and he says we actually surpass these unagreeable ones because we consciously choose to feed on the light, on positive energy.
That offers a perspective of underlying unity, even facing opposing forces. Suggests the key is our individual alignment with positive energy and consciousness, allows us to transcend negativity.
He then proposes that humanity's current shift towards a new level of consciousness might actually be why we're experiencing manipulation, because our expanding creative potential could be seen as a threat to existing power structures. He even quotes that famous passage from Paul about wrestling against principalities and powers.
So our awakening is shaking things up. That's an interesting connection. Links manipulation to humanity's evolving potential.
Suggests as we become more aware of our power, there might be forces seeking to maintain control.
That biblical quote certainly lends historical metaphorical context to this idea of unseen forces.
But the good news, according to him, is if we truly awaken, we can actually flip it against them and make them serve your being.
Turn the tables.
Yeah. He brings up figures like Yeshua and Solomon as examples of individuals who supposedly mastered these dark forces, used that understanding for good.
That's a powerful message of agency and potential mastery. Suggests by reaching higher awareness, individuals can not only resist negative influences, but even transform them into tools for growth.
He brings it back to our core identity, reiterating, we are the seed of the Father, a fractal and equal aspect of the one true source. Meaning, the manipulation we perceive is ultimately an illusion, a distortion of our true nature.
Reinforces that fundamental idea of our inherent divine nature. The potential to see beyond perceived limitations and manipulations, remembering our true origin, our connection to the source.
He delves into how interpretations of divine actions can be easily skewed
By what?
by power dynamics, indoctrination, leading to this simplistic binary view of good and evil based on who endorses an action, rather than its intrinsic morality.
Perspective is key.
Totally. He notes our ancestors likely interpreted advanced technology as spiritual or supernatural phenomena.
It really highlights the subjective nature of interpretation, doesn't it? How our historical, cultural, technological context shapes our understanding. Cautions against blindly accepting narratives, encourages critical perspective.
The knowledge of who we truly are, our unbreakable connection to the Father, that's what liberates us, he says.
Knowledge is freedom.
Understanding the laws of creation makes us masters of our destiny. Disobeying them leads to being slaves of our own creation, trapped by ignorance.
So how do we fix it?
The solution is simple. Remember your Father, the Creator. Your very DNA contains every instruction you need. It's all within you.
Powerfully links self-knowledge with personal empowerment and mastery. Understanding and aligning with universal principles, the laws of creation, is the key. A call to look inward, recognize the potential encoded within us.
He then introduces intentional manifestation, the idea we can consciously create anything we desire by aligning with these universal principles.
Not just creation.
He makes these bold statements. Every thought is a seed, and our focus and attention is watering it. Ultimately, we have the power to consciously create who we want to be.
Shifts the focus squarely onto the power of our minds, our intentions, in shaping reality. Introduces that core concept.
Yeah.
Our thoughts aren't just random, they're active forces.
He says the adage you become what you think about is correct, but often missing crucial preparation instructions.
Like what?
Our thoughts need the seal of your heart emotions,
Yeah.
peace, repose, love to truly impress the subconscious mind.
The feeling component.
Exactly. Emotion is the instruction. An electromagnetic pulse from the heart. Faith and belief aren't just intellectual nods, but the actual emotional feeling of already having received what we desire.
So it's not just thinking it, but feeling it as real now. That's a crucial distinction, isn't it?
Yeah.
Adds that vital emotional component.
Yeah.
It's not just mental affirmations, it's aligning our feelings, our deepest emotional state, with our intentions. That electromagnetic pulse imagery is powerful.
He cautions against being misled by unnecessary complications, warns against letting others impose their limiting judgments. He says simply, The good ways are all inside of you.
A strong call to trust our own inner guidance. A reminder to look within for answers, not get caught in external noise or opinions. Emphasizes the inherent wisdom we all possess.
He explains manifestation works by tapping into our innate creative essence, clearly releasing intentions, and then having unwavering trust.
Trust in what?
Trust that God, that universal creative force, will marshal the cosmic energies to bring it to pass. He admits the how often remains a mystery, like a seed sprouting.
So our job isn't the how.
Our job is to focus on providing the right conditions, like sunlight and water, for that seed of intention.
Emphasizes both clear intention and surrender. Be clear about the what, but let go of controlling the how. Trust in a larger unfolding. That seed analogy is perfect.
He strongly advises framing intentions positively. Focus on what you do want, not what you don't want.
Right. Avoid focusing on the lack.
And highlights the power of vivid visualization. Engage all senses, really feel the emotions of the desired outcome. Create a clear mental blueprint.
These are practical, well-established techniques for focusing mental energy, aligning the subconscious. Focusing on the positive, engaging emotions makes intentions more potent.
He points out how negative poverty programs can be deeply ingrained, often passed down through generations.
Inherited limiting beliefs.
Yeah, shaping our beliefs about what's possible financially and elsewhere.
Highlights the powerful influence of upbringing, societal conditioning. Recognizing these ingrained patterns is the first step to breaking free.
He warns that many are unintentionally led astray onto side trails misinformation, distractions pulling them from the central road to truth and enlightenment.
So we need discernment.
Need to trust our inner wisdom, our intuition, to find our way back. Develop that inner compass.
Underscores the importance of critical thinking and trusting inner guidance in a world saturated with information. Cultivating that inner knowing that resonates with truth.
He shares a powerful insight about maintaining a clear vision. When our vision is strong enough,
Yes.
we can disregard minor details, even wrong turns, because the ultimate destination is so clear. He even shares an anecdote about defying his GPS because his inner knowing was stronger.
The power of unwavering focus, that's a great analogy, illustrates how strong purpose, clear vision can override temporary setbacks. Trusting inner direction, even when external signals differ.
He then delves into the nature of time itself, suggesting our perception might be limited. Says the sun never truly rises or sets, it's basically motionless.
Relative to us, sure.
He posits time, as we experience it, is fixed in the now. He shares the story of the Kamungadazi clan, the Sun Lords, said to command the sun. Makes you wonder.
Challenges our conventional linear understanding of time. Hints at deeper interconnectedness. That story, while maybe anecdotal, sparks the imagination. Suggests human abilities we might not fully grasp.
He brings it back to our power, reiterating we are creators, bringing into our lives what we set our hearts and minds upon. He makes this profound statement: the destination is not a place.
It is the people. It is you. That's beautiful.
It's about who we become in the process, right?
A beautiful, insightful point. Shifts focus from external achievement to internal transformation, the relationships we cultivate. Emphasizes personal growth. Connections are the true measures.
He identifies our chief motives as motion and repose, the desire to expand and create, balanced by the need for stillness, peace, love.
The fundamental rhythm of life. That's a lovely way to encapsulate the human drives. Push and pull between action and rest, creation and reflection. Finding balance.
And he says love is the chief and ultimate source of our motives. Even negative emotions like hate, anger, fear
What about them?
are just diminished or distorted expressions of this fundamental force of love.
A very unifying perspective on emotions offers a view that at the core of all our actions, feelings, there's a connection to this primary energy of love. Even negative emotions stem from a lack or misdirection of it.
He powerfully emphasizes the inherent power of love and light within each of us. By consciously embracing the truth of love, we can dispel darkness.
Within ourselves and in the world. Tapping into our inner radiance reinforces that earlier image of inner light, underscores the transformative power of love. Cultivating love within heals us and impacts our surroundings.
He explains our constant striving, our motion, is often us chasing the feeling of our true selves. Requires a shadow and a mirror experiencing contrast to understand who we are.
The contrast again.
And offers this comfort. We don't need some arduous journey to heaven or hell to find home. We just need to truly know who we are, right here, right now.
That's really grounding. Suggests the answers aren't in some external place or state, but in self-discovery, understanding our own inner landscape.
He delves into how emotions express our motives. Love inspires incredible achievements. Sex is a powerful offspring of love, a potent creative force.
Interesting connection.
Desire for self-preservation can blind us until we realize our connection to others. Desire for freedom reminds us of our boundless nature. Our emotions are like vital signposts.
Absolutely. Emotions are rich sources of information about our inner world, needs, desires. He beautifully connects these different emotions to fundamental motivations, showing how they drive actions and shape experiences.
He then describes a cyclical pattern in self-discovery. This I am Achia seeks rest, finds fulfillment, only to find itself in disarray again, leading to continuous quests for perfection.
But maybe without tangible linear progress.
Exactly, more a recurring cycle of seeking and finding.
Offers a perhaps more realistic, less judgmental view of personal growth. Acknowledges we might not always be on a steady upward path. Times of rest, perceived setbacks, are part of the ongoing process.
Now, this is where it gets a bit metaphorical again. The clock, with 12 Elohim, 24 elders controlled by 13 families,
That symbol.
says we are a god veiled by the material world, symbolically confined by the number of the beast. 6, which he sees as an inverted 9, where 9 represents heaven god,
Okay.
suggests to reclaim our limitless essence, we need to transcend this perceived confinement of time.
It's certainly steeped in symbolism and metaphor. Presents a picture of hidden influences, our potential to break free from perceived limitations, particularly time in the material world. The number interpretation adds an esoteric layer.
He breaks down learning into 4 stages: unconscious incompetence, don't know you don't know. Conscious incompetence, aware you lack skill.
Ah,
Conscious competence, can do it, takes effort. And unconscious competence, mastery, it's automatic.
a familiar model. Very useful framework for understanding the learning journey. Recognizing where we are helps with patience and persistence.
He emphasizes the power of repetition. Consistent practice leads to mastery, even genius, paving new neural pathways.
Absolutely. Repetition is key to solidifying new learning, making it automatic. The process from conscious effort to effortless expertise.
He reiterates that as creators, we set up our own destiny, driven primarily by joy and simple pleasures.
Following what brings us happiness. That's a lovely reminder. Connects our creative power with our innate desire for happiness. Suggests our true path is often aligned with genuine joy.
He stresses the necessity of self-discovery to discern our true desires, those profound echoes of your soul's purpose.
Not as surface wants.
Right. He warns external thoughts, if accepted without question, become programs running us unconsciously. Need to tune into our inner voice.
Highlights the critical importance of introspection and self-awareness for an authentic life. Otherwise, we risk living based on others' values, not our own deepest desires.
He explains conscious creation as intentionally delving into our hearts, extracting true desires, which then become guiding stars.
Leading with heartfelt intention. Emphasizes heartfelt desire as the driving force. Not just what we think we want, but what truly resonates deep down.
He gives crucial advice. Our mind doesn't discriminate between positive and negative seeds.
It just grows what you plant.
Exactly. It multiplies whatever we consistently envision. The law of God in our mind is fixed here, a powerful reminder to be mindful of our thoughts.
Really important point. Our minds are powerful but indiscriminate. Whatever we focus on, we energize, and that tends to grow. Hence, consciously directing thoughts towards desires.
He connects this to the law of action and cause and effect. Every physical effect traces back to a spiritual cause thought. As above, so below.
And as below, so above. Ancient wisdom.
Thoughts, especially those we care about, are action. The world responds to the melody of our thoughts, the law of creation genesis, a law of care.
The union of mind and heart.
The universe mirrors back what we consistently command with thoughts and feelings.
Beautifully illustrates the interconnectedness of inner and outer worlds. Reinforces thoughts and emotions aren't passive, but active forces shaping reality. The law of care aspect highlights intention and emotional investment.
He reinterprets consequences, not punishment.
But
Experiencing repercussions of missing the mark, going against universal laws, is how we truly learn and course correct. A feedback mechanism.
a much more constructive view. Shifts focus from blame and judgment to learning and growth. Challenges are opportunities to see where we're out of alignment.
He emphasizes the reciprocal nature of life, law of inspired action. What you give with genuine intention returns. This is how we become conscious creators.
Understanding we're interconnected in this web of giving and receiving. Highlights the importance of intention and interconnectedness. Actions, especially motivated by genuine care, create ripples that return, recognizing our role in the flow.
He uses a simple example. Giving $100 to someone in need can trigger an abundance of positive energy returning. Small acts of kindness can create monumental changes.
The power of positive ripples. A wonderful illustration. Shows small acts, done with a pure heart, have significant positive impact on recipient and giver.
He encourages embracing life as flow and play. Success comes more easily to those who move with this current. Says hustle hardcore is a tampered recipe.
Not the true way.
Nature operates gracefully. His advice: delete the hustle program, flow with the graceful pace of care of spirit. Find that sweet spot of effort and surrender.
Challenges the relentless striving idea. Suggests aligning with a natural rhythm, flow, can be more effective, sustainable. The comparison to nature's grace is insightful.
Reminds us the true cause of progress is within, not external conditions. The same crisis can make or break someone, depending on their inner state.
Internal resilience emphasizes the importance of inner resources, mindset. External events don't determine outcome. Our response does.
He talks about highly programmable years, around ages 3, 6, 9, formative periods shaping who we become, influencing future generations' prosperity or poverty.
Almost genetic, through learned behaviors, passed down beliefs, highlights the profound impact of early childhood experiences, beliefs instilled then,
Wow.
underscores importance of conscious parenting.
Explains programming during these years creates ingrained automatic background programs, hard to overwrite later, our foundational operating system.
Absolutely. Early experiences create deep neural pathways, subconscious beliefs operating on autopilot. Overriding requires conscious effort, consistent reprogramming.
His advice on goal setting: align goals with desired feeling states, not just what you want to achieve, but how you want to feel.
Emotional resonance. A really insightful approach. Focusing on the desired emotional outcome creates a stronger connection, keeps us motivated for inspired action.
Describes faith and belief as gateways between the ethereal, unseen potential and the tangible physical world.
How do they differ?
Faith is reaching out, pulling desires into reality. Belief allows things to flow in and take root. Both need sufficient energetic force, conviction.
Offers a metaphorical but powerful explanation. Faith is the initial leap of trust. Belief is the sustained conviction allowing desires to materialize.
Underscores the profound influence of beliefs on personal success, choices, moral compass, ability to inspire others. Beliefs are the invisible architecture of our lives.
Absolutely. Beliefs shape perceptions, actions, ultimately reality, form the foundation upon which we build our lives and interact with the world.
Introduces mind ignition, switching on mind power. Explains trigger words evoking strong emotions can create new neural connections. Reprogram limiting beliefs.
Oh.
Use them consciously to communicate with the subconscious, like personalized mental shortcuts to new beliefs.
Fascinating practical technique for consciously influencing the subconscious. Using emotionally charged words bypasses the critical conscious mind, plants new, empowering beliefs deeper.
Talks about the single eye full of light, clear awareness, versus the evil eye full of darkness,
Yeah.
ignorance, negativity.
Symbolic.
Suggests embracing inspirations opens the third eye, intuitive center, and can awaken kundalini, linked to self-discovery and enlightenment.
Kundalini, that dormant spiritual energy, that's a powerful symbolic representation connecting inner awareness with spiritual awakening. Third eye, as gateway to intuition, Kundalini awakening key concepts in many spiritual traditions, deepening perception, releasing latent energy.
Emphasizes the power of I am, not just stating existence, but a potent declaration claiming desired reality. Using I am with positive affirmations aligns us with the Divine Father.
A verbal act of creation, absolutely. Words, especially following I am, have tremendous power to shape self-perception and reality. Consciously identifying with desired qualities and experiences, tapping into divine creative power.
Lists practical tools: visualization, journaling, prayer, meditation. All about focusing energy, aligning consciousness.
All well-established practices help focus intentions, clarify desires, cultivate inner awareness supporting manifestation.
Outlines common obstacles: limiting beliefs, self-doubt, fear, lack of clarity, impatience, neglecting self-care, over-reliance on external validation, fear of success, isolation.
Recognizing these roadblocks is the first step, precisely. Awareness of common pitfalls allows us to address them consciously, clear the path for intentions to manifest effectively.
Uses the allegory of the farmer fattening chickens for his table.
Right. Seems caring, but
Unveils the nature of adversaries masquerading as guardians. Takeaway: Develop discernment, recognize and confront true enemies hindering growth. See beyond surface appearances.
Powerful, unsettling metaphor. Encourages critical examination of influences. Be discerning about who truly has our best interests at heart. Taking responsibility, not blindly trusting external authorities.
Suggests the technological gap between humanity and other potential entities complicates understanding supernatural phenomena. Some might exploit our ignorance.
A reminder our current understanding might be limited. Certainly introduces a perspective encouraging humility about our knowledge. Opens possibility of interactions, influences we don't grasp conventionally.
But offers hope. Real-life success stories are inspiration, proof. Summarizes examples. Jim Carrey's check, Maria's healing manifestation, Emma attracting love via self-love, Mark's academic triumph using rejection, Jack Ma building Alibaba, Edson's inventions, Premier People's genesis.
Diverse examples of intention in action. These real-world examples provide tangible evidence, encouragement, demonstrate power of intention, belief, focused action across different areas of life. Show principles aren't just theoretical.
Underscores fundamental importance of clarity of intentions in all aspects of life. Without clear direction, energy scatters.
Like trying to hit a target you can't see. Precisely.
Yeah.
Clear, well-defined intentions act as a laser focus for energy, efforts. Makes achieving outcomes much more likely. Vagueness leads to vague results.
Stresses anticipating and embracing setbacks as opportunities for growth, developing resilience. Reframe failure as a stepping stone.
Crucial mindset shift. Viewing challenges as learning experiences, opportunities to become stronger is essential for long-term success, personal development.
Explains gratitude enhances energetic frequency, attracting more of what we're thankful for. Advises daily gratitude practice. Focus on appreciating what we have.
Shifting focus from lack to abundance. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gratitude is a potent emotional state aligning us with positive energy, opening us to receive more good. Shifts perspective, creates positive feedback loop.
Advises trusting divine timing. Faith, the universe unfolds desires perfectly, even if not how or when expected. Surrender control, trust the process.
That element of trust and patience is so important. Do our part, set intentions, act, then have faith. The universe orchestrates details in its own perfect way.
Part 2 concludes reaffirming the creative power within us to manifest anything. Encourages choosing to remain centered, even amid uncertainty.
Trusting our inherent ability to create. A strong, empowering message. Reminds us of innate potential, importance of inner peace, confidence, even when the path isn't clear.
Now moving into reprogramming ourselves. Starts by saying this requires real courage.
Courage for what?
To question absolutely everything we've been taught, because much might be lies and half-truths, keeping us from our true nature. Bold statement. Most of the truth of yesterday has expired.
Wow.
Notes wisest truths are often opposite of common knowledge. A call for radical reevaluation.
Powerful challenge to conventional wisdom. Encourages independent thinking, not blindly accepting inherited beliefs. Idea that truth can be dynamic, evolve, is crucial for growth.
Delves into manipulation of symbols number 13, the cross for control. Suggests hidden meanings, energetic impact beyond awareness. Urges questioning established beliefs, historical narratives. Look beneath the surface.
Highlights potential hidden influences in cultural, religious symbols. Encourages deeper investigation into origins, meanings. Suggests they carry energies, intentions beyond common interpretations.
Directly challenges the concept of a wrathful God eternally punishing for eating the fruit. Asks pointedly, can humanity be more righteous than such a deity? Identifies Gabriel, not Lucifer, as the tempter.
Significant departure from standard interpretations. Certainly provokes reevaluation of core religious narratives. Encourages more compassionate, nuanced understanding of the divine. Questioning invites alternative perspectives.
Makes it crystal clear. No one else holds the key to our awakening but ourselves. Emphasizes a need for discerning approach to forbidden knowledge. Then the intriguing statement. If you can decipher Lucifer, you will unlock the mystery of life.
Provocative. Suggests even concepts viewed as negative might hold keys to reality. Encourages looking beyond simplistic labels, seeking deeper understanding.
Draws analogy, words language are like programming code. Casts spells shaping reality, often unconsciously. Urges mindfulness of hidden meanings, subtle power of language.
Be intentional with communication.
Yeah.
Powerful metaphor highlights creative, formative power of language. Like code instructs a computer. Words direct thoughts, shape beliefs, influence experiences. Awareness is crucial for conscious creation.
Introduces self-reprogramming cycle system. RAS, reticular activating system. We have authority to override programs through conscious effort. Positive programming shapes thoughts, beliefs, behaviors.
Life is a closed circuit of automatic programs.
Beliefs seal the RAS, manifesting as our truth. Thoughts embraced get created. Attention focus attract more of that thing. Understanding our mind's mechanics. The RAS filters info based on existing beliefs. Mind ignition techniques influence this filter.
Valuable framework for understanding subconscious beliefs, how to actively influence them. Recognizing this cycle empowers us to take control of inner programming.
Offers direct path to break free at the source point. Consciously choose which thoughts to accept project based on spirit resonance, inner truth.
How does the flow work?
Life unfolds. Thoughts, words, Act 6. Focused attention incubates thought seeds. He encourages focusing on reality, love, good, what if it works out. Direct mental energy with intention.
Very practical, empowering approach puts us in the driver's seat. We have power to choose thoughts, shape reality. Focusing on positive possibilities, not fears, is key.
Emphatically states we are in charge, can even uncreate what we previously created. Stresses balance, self-discipline, unwavering faith in desires manifesting. Live as if they already have.
The mind as a factory metaphor.
Mind is factory, thoughts are commands. Be conscious what instructions we send.
Reinforces inherent creative power and responsibility. Consciously managing thoughts, cultivating unwavering belief, makes us deliberate creators.
Provides clear steps for setting life intentions. Start with deep introspection. Identify true desires. Write them down specific, affirmative language, focusing on the feeling state.
Keep them visible.
Yes. And take inspired action steps feeling intuitively right, aligned. Suggests using your photos surrounded by I am intentions. Active, engaged process.
Very practical, actionable guide. Translating desires into reality. Emphasis on clarity, positive framing, emotional connection, inspired action provides a roadmap.
Recommends creating vision pages, physical digital collages, images swords resonating with aspirations. Powerful tool for reminding ourselves, focusing subconscious.
Connect emotionally through visualization.
Yes, trust intuition. Use consistent affirmations to reinforce beliefs. Create a compelling mental picture of desired reality.
Vision boards. Affirmations, known techniques, harnessing visualization, positive self-talk. Key is regular engagement, connecting with feelings of already having achieved aspirations.
Lays out the 90 Days Challenge Comprehensive Transformation Program. Key components. Embracing truth, question everything, confront fears, beliefs.
Self-reflection, introspection.
Yes, quiet contemplation, journaling, meditation. Acceptance, self-love. Embrace all aspects, no judgment. Setting clear intentions. Making empowered choices. Aligned with intentions, intuition.
Flow and synchronicity.
Embrace it. Trust life's unfolding. Notice signs. Practicing mindful action. Be present. Live the feeling of desires fulfilled. Test the feeling now.
Act as if.
Behave, decide as if goals are realized. Flowing with the divine. Relinquish control. Trust, faith. Enveloped in unconditional love, self-love, compassion for others, even enemies, forgiveness.
Eating right.
Physically and spiritually. Healthy foods, uplifting knowledge. Eat live food and live. Holistic approach.
This 90-day challenge offers structured, comprehensive framework for deep personal growth. Integrates key principles, mindset, emotion, action, spiritual connection. Holistic program for lasting change.
Frames our life journey as ongoing test of inner sovereignty, creative potential, aligning individual will with divine will, manifesting deepest desires, stepping into full power as conscious creators.
Powerful perspective. Viewing life as opportunity to exercise inherent creative power, consciously shape experiences aligned with true selves, higher purpose.
Finally, delves into the 7 chakras energy centers, common blockages hindering flow, manifestation. Root, grounding survival, blocked by fear and insecurity.
Sacral, creativity, sexuality by guilt, shame. Solar plexus, power, self-esteem by shame, disappointment. Heart, love, compassion by grief, loss.
Throat, communication, truth by lie, secrets. Third eye, awareness, insight by illusion, separation. Crown, divine connection by ego, attachment.
How to clear them.
Offers general ways. Meditation, visualization, mindfulness. For third eye, light, tongue stimulation. Crown, meditation, prayer, nature connection. Brief overview of complex system.
Yes. Chakra system is detailed map of inner energetic landscape. Understanding blockages provides insights into imbalances affecting well-being, manifestation. Suggestions are common practices in energy healing.
Concludes bringing it back. Truly knowing who we are is cornerstone of all creation, key to lasting fulfillment. Power always within us.
The journey involves embracing divine essence, making empowered choices, taking inspired action.
And self-discovery is ongoing, evolving.
Powerful, fitting conclusion. Self-knowledge isn't a destination, but continuous journey. Connecting with inner essence, conscious action unlocks inherent creative potential.
And finally, he issues this final dare.
Oh, dare.
If we've truly grasped this secret truth, our task is to visit hell and transform it into paradise.
Not literally, right?
No. About reclaiming our power as creators, transmuting suffering negativity into joy positivity, recognizing even in darkness we hold the power of light.
The ultimate test of mastery.
Realizing hell and paradise are created by our consciousness. Embrace darkness, not be consumed, but become greater light bearer. The final step towards enlightenment. A powerful call to action.
Profoundly challenging, ultimately empowering final thought. Not about escaping difficulties, but transforming our experience through inner power, understanding. Recognizing capacity to find light in darkness, actively shape reality.
Well, thank you for embarking on this deep dive into Frank Tembo's Know Yourself and Become Wealthy.
It's been fascinating.
The central takeaway, as we've explored, is this. Genuine self-knowledge is the absolute fundamental key. Unlocking your full potential for wealth, broadly defined, and for living a truly fulfilling life as a conscious, empowered creator.
Definitely the core message.
We really encourage you, the listener, take some time, reflect on these ideas, consider how they resonate with your own experiences, challenges, deepest aspirations.
Absolutely.
This deep dive, well, it's really just the beginning. There are undoubtedly many more layers, nuances to explore within the source material itself.
For sure. Lots to chew on.
So, our final provocative thought for you to carry with you. What hell in your own life are you now inspired to begin transforming into your own personal paradise?